since it does help open up those pores and kind of loosen everything in there. If you have never used them before, I can guarantee you that it is going to instantly plump out your skin and make those pores seem less prominent. Minasan konnichiwa, this is Tina and welcome back to my channel. In this video, we're going to be talking about pore care. If that sounds like your thing, then please go ahead and channel登録 shichatte kudasai. So about a year ago, I did a video on pore care and it is still my most viewed video on my channel with like 2.5 million views. I have literally no idea how that happened, but I thought it was only right to do a updated pore care video since I have picked up a few new tips and tricks. Let me be clear, we cannot physically get rid of our pores or change the size of them, but there are a few things we can do to help minimize the appearance of them. So let's get to it. So the first type of pore that we're going to be looking at is clogged pores, also known as O-shaped pores. I do think clogged pores is probably the most noticeable and the type that we want to get rid of the most. They often occur in areas that secrete a lot of oil, usually our T-zone and especially our nose, which is completely normal by the way. Our body does secrete oil to help our skin protect itself from things like dust, bacteria, and even keep it moisturized. Like our body does need pores to function properly. But when there is too much oil production or dead skin cells are not cleared effectively on the surface of our skin, that's when we tend to notice more clogged or enlarged pores, which in worst case scenario, these can turn into pimples or breakouts. So the easiest way to help out these clogged pores is through cleansing, which honestly should be a part of your routine already. These clogged pores, often called sebaceous filaments, can harden and discolor if not cleansed properly. Using things like nose strip can be okay for occasional use, but if you do use them frequently, by physically trying to pull out these pores out of a small opening can basically stretch and make your pores seem larger. Hence, by using something like a cleansing oil can be a safer and more sustainable way to go about it. I did introduce deep cleansing in my last pore care video, which I do still practice frequently, probably like 1 to 2 times a week, but I have added a new step to the process and it is to warm up our pores before cleansing. In Japan, even on like the packaging of skincare and stuff, they often do recommend for you to sit in a bath for a while before cleansing, since it does help open up those pores and kind of loosen everything in there so it's easier to cleanse out. Although I feel like most of us probably don't have the luxury to steep in a bathtub, at least I don't. So there are 2 other ways we can mimic that effect that literally anyone can do. I personally like to do the warm towel method, I guess you could say, but grabbing a spare towel and then soaking it in warm water, wringing it out, and then placing it on your face to steam and warm up those pores. I find this really relaxing at the end of the day as well, so it's kind of like a 2-in-1 pamper moment. But if you can't be bothered getting a spare towel and everything, you can literally just run your tap on a little bit warmer water and splash your face about 10 times. As most materials expand with heat, so does our skin, so by warming it up, it does help to open up and loosen up that gunk. Now for the actual cleansing process. So you can use a cleansing balm, although I do find the cleansing oil is a little bit easier to work since it does have that fluid consistency from the start. In the past, I did not pay as much attention since I do have drier skin that is not that prone to clogging, but it did come to my attention that the ingredients in your cleansing oil are important too. So today I'm using the Anua Heartleaf Pore Control Cleansing Oil. Anua is a K-beauty brand that has been around for a little while, but I really recently dived into trying their products after seeing how popular they were when I was traveling Korea and Japan, and I must say they did not disappoint. Their viral Heartleaf toner is so light but hydrating, and recently I fell in love with their sunscreen too, so I'm very excited to be partnering with them for this portion of the video. As I said earlier, the ingredients in a cleansing oil is important since there are some out there that can tend to clog pores. The Heartleaf Pore Control Cleansing Oil contains Anua's patented ingredient, non-commed oil, to officially cleanse without clogging the pores. The cleanser, along with most of the other viral products from Anua, do contain that heartleaf extract, which helps to soothe even sensitive skin. So we want to take a generous amount of the cleansing oil, usually 2 to 3 pumps, and massage it all over our freshly steamed face. You don't need to rub hard, but gently massage in circular motions, especially in those areas of pore concern. I know there's like a 15-minute cleansing challenge or something on TikTok, but you do not have to do it for that long. Just pay attention to how rough your skin feels when you start, and usually a a few minutes in, your pores will start to feel smoother. That's when you know the cleansing oil has efficiently melted away all that gunk. I know for some people, doing the deep cleanse method like literally gets those balls of oil out. Like you can physically see those gunky kind of rolled up pores on your skin. Personally, I feel like it doesn't really happen because I do practice deep cleansing frequently, but you might experience something like that too. Next, you want to add a little bit of water to emulsify, massage further, and then finally wash it off with lukewarm water. Although the process is not quite as satisfying as a nose strip, it is safer to do frequently and also cost effective. The Heart Leaf Pore Control Cleansing Oil has also ranked #1 in makeup cleansing oils on Amazon US, as well as Olive Young, and it is also vegan and cruelty free. Once again, of course, you can use other cleansing oils, although if you are someone who tends to get clogged pores easily, make sure you're looking at those ingredients and see what might be causing it. For example, I know that coconut oil is one that is common for a lot of people. Now we have successfully melted down some of that extra oil buildup, but we're not finished because we don't want to leave any traces of dirt, bacteria, or even some of that cleansing oil that we just used. Because if there are stuff left in our pores, it is just going to get clogged up again very easily. I have always preached double cleansing, especially if you wear makeup or have oily combo acne prone skin, and you can achieve this by using any water-based cleanser as your second step. Like the Rovectin one is one that I used all the time. It is such an easy, effective cleanser that I feel like any skin type can use. But we are talking about pore care today, so I wanted to talk about how to get a little bit extra out of this second step cleanse by using enzyme cleansers. As someone who can be sensitized by chemical exfoliants, enzyme cleansers are one of my favorite ways to get a exfoliating yet gentle deep cleanse. Initially, I actually didn't know this, but enzyme cleansers are considered to be part of the chemical exfoliant family, as those enzymes do create a chemical reaction to help break down those dead skin cells. I very frequently get the question, what are some good exfoliants in J-Beauty? Because if you've tried, it is quite hard to find exfoliating products, whether it's chemical exfoliants, physical exfoliants, in J-Beauty compared to Korean or Western brands. And it's because Japanese people do tend to opt for the gentler option of enzyme cleansers. They are definitely a great option for people who want to get a little bit of exfoliating in but can't handle much when it comes to acids like AHAs and BHAs. Plus, they do give you a bit more of an instant gratification in terms of that pore blurring, smoothing skin feel. To this day, I still think the most popular enzyme cleanser in Japan is the Suisai Beauty Clear Powder Wash. You cannot walk into a Japanese drugstore without seeing these powder washes. I don't actually have the original blue and white container one, I think it is, but they've come out with so many different types. They have the original one, they have like a charcoal infused one, they have this oil infused one for moisture, and they do also often come out with a lot of limited edition ones like this one that smells like matcha tea latte. The use of these are pretty straightforward. Dispense powder into your palms and then add water to foam up, and then wash your face like you normally would with your cleanser. These are essentially gentle enough to use every day, but personally I do probably use them 1 to 2 times a week. I do like these little capsules, especially when I'm traveling, just because it does definitely save space in your luggage. Plus, your skin does tend to get more congested whenever you're traveling. They do occasionally put them in bottles, like I think Funkiru does one, as well as the Keana Kubo, I believe. But generally speaking, Japan does like to individually wrap these enzyme washes, which I do understand is quite wasteful at times, especially if you are just using them at home. So one that comes in a bottle that I've actually been using for like a number of years now is the by Wishtrend Green Tea and Enzyme Powder Wash. It recently did get a packaging update and I love it. I will say this one is a little bit grittier compared to the Japanese ones that I've tried, but you can make it gentler and adjust its abrasiveness by adding more water. I think this one more people would probably be able to access internationally and online too. So they are some of my tips to help cleanse those pesky clogged pores and keep them under control. Now I want to talk about the other type of pore that most of us do experience here on our cheeks, and they are dehydrated pores, also known as U-shaped pores. Second to our nose, I feel like most of us would agree that the pores on our cheeks tend to be the most noticeable. These may become more noticeable with age due to loss of elasticity, although it is usually caused by dehydration. Think of our skin as a sponge, if you will. Usually those holes are a lot more noticeable when it's dry dry. And then when you add water, it kind of plumps out and fills in those gaps, which makes the holes less noticeable. I do have generally dehydrated skin myself, so I take skin hydration very, very seriously. But most people can have dehydrated skin without realizing it because it's more of a skin condition rather than a true skin type. So even if you have oily skin, it can be dehydrated. Even if you have dry skin, sensitive skin, it can still be dehydrated. Having well hydrated skin can be beneficial in so many different ways. It can help minimize the appearance of our pores, since we're talking about that today, but it can also help to balance and reduce our oil levels in our skin. It can help that skin healing process to speed up. It can also make our skin more supple, soft, and plump, like the list goes on. So here are the easiest ways to rehydrate and plump out those pores that literally every skin type can practice. Add a hydrating toner into your routine. If you've followed me for a while, I'm going to assume that you already do this, but if you do not have a hydrating toner in your routine, add one ASAP because you are seriously missing out. It has been a staple in Asian skincare forever, but it is still somewhat recent that Western brands have started to produce hydrating toners, so I'm going to assume that it's not common practice for everyone. Although so many of you guys have let me know over the years that through watching my videos, you started adding hydrating toners in your routine and it literally changed your skin for the better. It is still my absolute favorite step in this skincare routine and something that I just cannot go without. There are so many great ones out there for all skin types, especially NJ and K beauty. The options are endless, but if you do have oily combo skin, go for something that has a really light watery texture like the Naturie Hatomugi skin conditioner or the Isntree green tea fresh toner. That light texture is going to allow it to feel fresh on your skin. Normal skin types, I'd recommend going for something that has like medium body, like the Hada lotions or the Klairs Supple Preparation Unscented Toner, which by the way you can score in the Teenage Treats skincare box at the moment on Wishtrend, just an FYI. And dry skin types, it would help to go for a milky toner like the I'm From Rice toner or the Dr.Ceuracle vegan kombucha toner essence to get a punch of that moisture along with hydration. These are just some examples, by the way. As I said, there are so many, so try some out to see what fits best for your skin type and skin concern and use them as your first step after cleansing. If you have never used them before, I can guarantee you that it is going to instantly plump out your skin and make those pores seem less prominent. But if you do already use them and want to step up your game a little bit in controlling these dehydrated pores here, I recommend to do some DIY cotton sheet masking. I have already done a full in-depth video on this method, so if you want to know all of the details, I definitely recommend checking that video out. But basically it is creating your own mini sheet mask using cotton pads and a hydrating toner to concentrate that hydration on those areas of pore concern. In short, you want to soak some thin cotton pads in a hydrating toner. In this case, I do recommend a watery texture just because it does soak up in the cotton a little bit easier than a thick texture would. Then place those cotton pads in areas of concern and leave it there for just a few minutes. I usually do like 2 to 3 minutes, but no longer than 5. After you remove it, you will notice that your pores are more plumped out since you allowed for that hydration to settle and travel deeper into your skin, which in turn helps your skin look smoother and more poreless. This is a method that is also often used in Japan and Korea by professional makeup artists, as it does help to achieve that smooth canvas for makeup application, but it can also help to balance the skin's oils and retain that hydration throughout the day so the skin can officially hold on to that makeup without it breaking up on the skin from dryness or oiliness. I always do this before applying makeup for filming. Like even today, I have my cotton pads on my desk because I did a little DIY masking before putting on my makeup, and it really does make a difference. Unfortunately, you can't really use any old cotton pad for this method. They do need to be thin enough to stick to your skin, so I'll make sure to leave my favorite ones for this method in the description too. There are a lot of other ways and products that can help with our pores, like serums, retinoids and devices and all of that, but I did want to share tips that could be implemented by all skin types, even sensitive, and be practical and cost effective too. If you enjoyed this video, please let me know in a comment below, or even check out one of these two videos because I feel like you would totally enjoy it, and it also means you could hang out with me a little longer, so you know. I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye!